Hey there guys, Outlaw Dolphin here, and we are going to continue our Dragon Age Inquisition story, and we are going to be conquering the Storm Coast this time, and we're going to change up our company, which I will explain in just a moment. Okie dokie guys, we are going to begin our adventure into the Storm Coast, where we will meet Iron Bull and his Bull's chargers. We're going to change up our company so that we no longer have Solus, Cassandra and Varric. For this, we are going to be accompanied by Vivienne, Sarah and Blackwall, which I have no doubt is Vivienne's worst nightmare. First of all, let's just see. I walked through the wrong door. Let's just see if Josephine has any conversation for us.
Lord Trevelyan, may I have a moment?
Yes, Ambassador?
I'd like to discuss your parents.
A little sudden, but it's time someone made an honest man of me.
What? Very amusing. This is serious. I'd like to dispatch a courier asking the bands of House Trevelyan to align themselves with us. What are your thoughts? Should we approach your family for their formal support of the Inquisition?
I'm not in their good graces. Being a mage, after all, they sent me off to the tower right quick.
With the Trevelyans, my presence may close more doors than it opens. My family and I are not on the best of terms.
I'm sorry to hear that. I shall not press the matter, but others will. Valroyo has noted your lineage. It gives the Inquisition some legitimacy, although not so much as we'd hoped.
Why not?
You are from Ostwick. Orlesian nobles consider the Three Marches somewhat quaint.
They're not scared.
Even though I'm a mage, that doesn't give them pause.
Not an unfamiliar sight. Mages from noble families are given more leeway. Besides, Ostwick Circle had a reputation for being rather sedate.
You mean dull? Hated the confinement? I appreciated the quiet. No. You mean dull.
You've never been bored until you've lived in a tower of studious, well-behaved mages. Even our circle's fall was quiet. Everyone just left.
No wonder the people's faith in Templars has been shaken.
Oh. You couldn't trust them.
Some seemed all right at first. A smile here, a nod there. Yet when a mage was punished harshly, it turned to stone and watched.
That must have been hard. It's a shame we could not establish ourselves somewhere more peaceful. I hope you don't find the living conditions in Haven too drastic for someone of your station.
How do you find it?
This can't be what you're accustomed to, Ambassador.
One adjusts. I stay busy. It helps take my mind from our surroundings. And the cold. And the wildlife. And the lack of civilization for miles around. Why anyone lived here before we found Andraste's ashes, I cannot imagine.
At least the isolation is safe. I suppose it's somewhat like a circle.
Having a few leagues of ice between me and whoever wishes me ill can't hurt.
Do not say that too loudly. Chancellor Roderick is still here. Until next time, my lord.
Thank you. And now, Storm Coast, Inquisition road trip.
You were saying something about Cullen?
Yes. Haven has limited space for our soldiers to train. Perhaps we could set up something over here.
At your service.
To work?
Ah, shit. Lieutenant Harding led a small complement of soldiers to the Storm Coast region to investigate reports of Grey Warden activity. She sent word that her party had established a camp near the shore, but we have received nothing further. At this time, the status of Harding and her mission remains unknown. Someone called Rector. Change that name, sir.
Your worship, for what it's worth, welcome to the Storm Coast. I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
How so?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
I will look into this.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, your worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck, and enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
Okie dokie, so let's see what we have to do around here. It can seem like we have a lot, particularly a lot in confined places. Blackwall has a small quest to do with this area as well, but it shouldn't take us too long. Cleaning house, and we will find Iron Ball just down towards the water. It rains a lot here, like particularly it doesn't stop. And we have a dragon. Not a dragon that we can fight immediately. We do catch a scene of it fighting a giant, but it's a dragon that has a quest further down the line. So here we can see that Ball's charges have already come across some unsavory types.
Chargers! Stand down! Grim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks. So, you're with the Inquisition, huh? Glad you can make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming.
You must be Iron Ball.
Iron Bull, I presume. Yeah, the horns usually give it away. I assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Good to see you again. Throat cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have him check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least a bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it. And I'm sure the Inquisition can afford us.
You definitely seem useful.
The Chargers seem like an excellent company. They are.
But you're not just getting the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons? Dragons? The bigger the better. And there's one other thing. Might be useful. Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra?
Only a little.
They're a Qunari organization, right? The equivalent of their guards and city watch.
I'd go closer to spies. But yeah, that's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
What would you report back?
What would you send home in these reports of yours?
Enough to keep my superiors happy. Nothing that'll compromise your operations. The Qunari want to know if they need to launch an invasion to stop the whole damn world from falling apart. You let me send word of what you're doing, it'll put some minds at ease. That's good for everyone.
What can you tell us?
What's in these Ben Hasrath reports you're offering to share?
Enemy movements, suspicious activity, intriguing gossip. It's a bit of everything. Alone they're not much, but if your spy master is worth it, damn, she'll put him to good use. She? I did a little research. Plus, I've always had a weakness for redheads.
There you go, you're hired.
All right, you're in.
Excellent. Rem, tell the men to finish drinking on the road. The Chargers just got hired.
What about the casks, Chief? We just opened them up with axes.
Find some way to seal them. You're Taventer, right? Dried blood man. We'll meet you back at Haven.
There you go, but sticking with Sarah, Blackwall, and Vivienne. We can let Iron Ball just head on back to Haven with his charges. No reason to split them up at all. Not just yet, anyway.
Those must be the bandits Harding mentioned.
So we're going to head to the rendezvous point, which is just in those two huts up there. You can see them from quite far away. The route we're going to take is just through that ravine there. The weather effects in Dragon Age Inquisition for me, I've always found them quite... I've always enjoyed them. When I'm somewhere cold, I feel like my body gets cold as I'm somewhere like Haven or Emperor du Lion. When I'm somewhere here, I often feel like I get, I often feel like I'm there. Like, these effects are quite startling. Beware of falling rocks. I think as we're walking, one does fall down. Or am I thinking of a completely different game entirely? Where is the... Just trying to think. Oh yeah, there he is. Judging by the style of clothing, I'm going to believe that that's a Grey Warden. You'll see the boots and the armour on Grey Wardens further down the game, but you'll see what I mean. I think that's a Grey Warden underneath. Okay, so we can see that these people, they're not friendly. No, they are not. from the armor colour, you can be forgiven for thinking that these are Grey Wardens, but they're not. Thank God. Otherwise that would make a very confusing story. These bandits, we're going to find out their name in a moment. But first I have the overwhelming desire to loot. Okay, so that'll do there.
These must be the missing soldiers.
Someone should pay for this.
So they've killed the Inquisition soldiers. Now let's find out who they are. Bandit notes. These notes were found near murdered Inquisition soldiers. The paper is not crumpled or torn, as though it were left behind instead of dropped. It's not our place to disagree. They are attempting to set themselves up along the shore, and we have orders. We are the sword, not the hand that wields it. You taught me that. If they are worthy, let them come with the Mercy's crest. The blades of Assyrian will listen. You will only get yourself cast out, or worse.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hasting. It seems there's a way to challenge their leader.
Naming themselves after the sword that killed Andraste. Ambitious.
They have traditions. These men were just following a code. If the Inquisition can win their loyalty, we could steer them on a better path.
I don't know.
Looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach.
Alright, let's see if our path to the headquarters takes us past anything else. No. Jokey. So once we clean house, we will have a rift to fight, and then we're going to discover 6 points of interest for the Grey Wardens. Shan't take us too long, I think. I'm not going to make Mercy's crest. A lot of times during my playthroughs I do tend to seek the peaceful route with these people. Oh my good lord. I often tend to seek the peaceful route with these people, but like Vivian says, someone deserves to pay, and someone will. I just think it should be the entire troop. They follow, or like Blackwall says, they follow a code. They were following orders of their leader, but you can choose to disagree with orders. How did Sarah get hurt? Okay.
Wow, we can watch, yeah?
You can watch them duke it out. However, the dragon does over-level the giant for gameplay purposes, so that the giant wouldn't kill the dragon. Getting any closer just causes the dragon to fly away, and you're left to fight the giant. Ow. Woo. Giants can be troublesome. However, attacking their legs does cause them to fall over. It does put them out of commission for quite a while. And giants are none too fond of fire. Woo.
Are you alright, Lady Vivienne?
Whatever are you talking about, darling?
In our last fight, I saw you take a blow. If I'd been there quicker,
Oh, aren't you precious?
I appear to have offended.
No, dear. You couldn't possibly offend me.
Vivienne is none too fond of either Blackwall or Sarah. because Sarah and her mischievous ways, and Blackwall because he's Blackwall. Vivian tends not to like anybody, so we're just going to deal with this route here. We have no reason to actually do it. We're not going to go any further than this point. It just helps for future reference. Wow, we're cleaning up house. Oh, he dropped something. Nope. Is there one behind me? Yes, there is. Are we quite finished? Yes, we are. There we go. Spirit essence for spirit runes. Spirit runes are staff only, whereas elemental runes are weapons only. It does make sense, because imagine making an ice staff and then putting an ice rune in there. I mean, I could imagine certain other games doing it. I see no problem with it, but it's just like the idea of stacking ice runes on ice damage just seems to be a bit overpowered, considering that the elemental damage that you can do already on staffs is quite powerful. Runes is something we're definitely going to look into, especially when it comes to the point of dragon slaying. I'm none too bothered with them otherwise. There you go. So we've not done Mercy's Crest, so we're just going to attack these guys outright. The guy that we talk to is none too pleasant, so I'm kind of glad that we don't have to talk to him this time around. It's just a shame that this is actually quite a noble group, but they have a ridiculous leader. But the only thing is that this guy does seem to have very annoying, very strong dogs, and he's very tall. There we go, Storm Chain Lightning did its job there. Stay away from me. God damn it. These dogs. Most powerful thing in Ferelden, it seems. Oh. Right. Cleaned house. Just pick up the items around here, and level 7 I am. And some power. Now, if you're wondering why sometimes Energy Barrage will trigger twice in a row. It triggers twice in a row because there is a perk in the fire tree which has to be the best perk I've ever seen in any game. After you land a critical hit, your next spell cast doesn't trigger a cooldown period. Now it says that it's the next spell cast that doesn't trigger. It's the spell that causes the critical hit to... So basically, you cast 2 spells in a row, but it's the first spell that doesn't trigger cooldown. The second spell does. It's a little bit wrong in the wording, but the brilliant thing about energy barrage and something like chain lightning is that this will happen quite often, because chain lightning will attack several different enemies in one area, and energy barrage has so many different barrages that each one has the chance of being a critical. So yeah, this happens no more than once. It's not like if each energy barrage fires and has a critical, this doesn't mean that all of them will have the same effect. The perk we are going to go for is Energy Barrage now deals additional damage, but all targets are selected at random. So this means I'm going to have so many more barrages, but they now attack everyone. So this tends to clear out enemy mobs a lot quicker. Plus, when you're fighting one enemy, they all tend to go on one enemy, so it works. Okie dokie, so that's the first point of order here, or the second point of order, considering. We are now going to go back and around, and we're going to go up this ravine here, and we're going to start looking for Grey Wardens, or evidence of Grey Wardens. You have to do this the annoying way, using the scanner as, well, I say scanner. It is what it is, isn't it? It's a scanner. So we will be heading uphill, and we'll be doing a lot of cross-country. This could take some time, so I'll probably edit stuff in and out. So like if I need to shorten sequences, I'll do that, because I never do this quest that often. It's something you really have to feel like doing, just because there's really nothing else out there. There are no rifts. There are some campsites, but there's nothing really that pushes you to do this unless you really like Blackwall, because he will enjoy doing all of this. Plus, getting up some of these hills can be a bit tricky. The Storm Coast is not the biggest location in the game. I think it's one of the smallest, actually. We do have to come here again at some point down the game, a little bit further on. Oh, some immediately to our left, which requires us to fight the Red Templars, and sometimes Darkspawn appear in this area, but not till much later in the game.
Worth a look around, right?
Here we have Summerstone. This acts like Drakestone, so this is a Constitution metal. More here. There's also Serpent Stone, which is like iron and onyx. I think it's above us, the items that we're looking for. And why am I doing that? There we go. God. This is how long I haven't done this for. Because you can just walk through trees. God, where are they? Oh, they're further that away. Ah, yeah, I see the tents. Ugh. Yep, there we go. So I went entirely the wrong way. There we go, so we examine these. A Grey Warden Journal. We'll give this a quick read. I grow more convinced that if he was ever here, he is now long gone. Still, it would not do for us to miss him through laziness, and he was one of our most skilled warriors. If anyone could hide himself here, it would be he. One of the fishermen shows promise with a spear and has shoulders, like an ox, from throwing nets all day. He asked about joining the Grey Wardens. Under other circumstances, I would be honoured to take a worthy and willing volunteer. Now my orders did not say whether I should seek new recruits. Even with our circumstances, or because of them, I suppose. It did not hurt his cause that he was easy to look at, and clearly wished to know more about the Dalish. The Darkspawn are louder than I thought at first. The constant whisper at the back of my mind makes it difficult to sense them, as easily as I usually do. But they are near the surface. Perhaps bandits are not the worst these people have to face. From pages torn loose from a journal found on the Storm Coast.
The wardens were here at some point.
So the Grey Wardens are looking for someone. And we have Grey Warden treaties.
I think the Inquisition could benefit from this.
Blackwall's quest, Memories of the Grey, can look seemingly overwhelming. But it's not that bad. It just sometimes requires you to have specific perks. Like, we'll go to one in the Fallow Mire that we can't actually get until much later. It does make it irritable. Like, it feels like you're leaving something behind, but you find another one. So there's 2 per every location you go to, or 2 per every location mentioned. Let's just make sure I'm not going too far away from... Because there's one to our west, considering north is pointing to our right. I'm thinking it's... Let's just go in its general direction first of all. Okay, so yeah, it is down lower ground. I was thinking it was going to be on the cliff somewhere. Well, I love that animation. I like that this game actually does tell you, oh, you're on a sheer cliff. We're going to have you slide all the way down to the bottom. That's fair. Oh, it is probably up there, isn't it? There's a pathway through here. Here we have some serpent stone. Every little helps. Got a bag to loot over here. Where is it? It's back down this way. Oh, we walked right past it. Grey Warden's journal. He is not here. We have searched thoroughly, and we will now move on. How many days have I wasted here, with whispers lurking at the back of my mind, on this mad assignment? I pray we have more luck as we head south. After speaking with other wardens, I told the fishermen about the darkspawn we sensed beneath the earth. They may not burst forth from the ground today, or tomorrow, but I fear it will not be long, and we will not be here when they finally surface. The fishermen were grieved at the news, but they decided to make for West Hill, which is safe for now. As for the fisherman who was interested in joining, I convinced him that now was not the time. Others might have told him otherwise, but he is too young to make such a sacrifice, simply because he does not wish to throw nets into the water all his life. We shared one last night by the campfire, and he went on his way with a smile, humming the song of Andrewill as he left. We shared one last night. Naughty warden.
Looks like several wardens were traveling together.
No, by all means. Andrewill picks up a particular point. I cannot remember if Andrewill is one of the elven gods specifically, but she is an ancient elf. She is an ancient elf, particularly. And she brings up a particular point with Sarah in particular. Sarah is amazingly skilled as a rogue. However, she was never taught her skills, as Dorian suggests that she's a savant, someone who's just naturally gifted at what they do. However, any talk of demons and such towards Sarah and magic is something that she does not appreciate in any particular way. She just doesn't like magic or demons or anything of a suspicious nature. But her, I think in previous games, or in this game, I can't remember, there is a particular mosaic depicting Andruil, and it depicts Sarah's tarot card, or one of her tarot cards. I'm gonna have some trouble getting up here, aren't I? Come on, come on. Get to the right. There we go. And this has created a theory in people who are interested in Dragon Age Inquisition in that manner, in theorizing what the future might hold. Oh, got both of them. Believe that Sarah is possessed. It would make sense in a lot of ways. Okay, so we found a bottle. It's annoying because it's not actually what we need. So Blackwall is fastly becoming our friend because we're looking for Grey Warden stuff. But yes, there are people who believe that Andruil has possessed Sarah.
Right. How's it end?
What? The tavern tale?
Come on. You left off elbow deep in circumstances. I can't be it.
That wasn't her name, but yeah, that's as far as the story ever gets. Why are you complaining?
Because I can't stop thinking about it. I need to know the end.
Why would you want to stop? The whole point of the good bit is thinking about the good bit. If I tell the end, it ends. Bunch of moaners, this. Drag out the sad shit, yes please, but hang on to a good bit. Oh, can't have that. Freaking daft.
I feel like that's a Game of Thrones reference, or stuff to do with good drama and good writing and stuff like that. Drag out the good bit? No. Here we go. So the final Grey Warden journal. We searched the area but found no sign if he was here. It was some time ago. The fishermen in this area are friendly, unlike some. They remember how the Grey Wardens fought to save Ferelden in the last Blight. Though they had little, they shared some of their catch to give us a better supper than we had tasted in weeks. They even deferred to me once they saw that I command the other wardens. And there are few in Ferelden who would watch an elf command men without pause. They are friendly folk. After all this land has suffered in the past years, I hope they find some peace.
The wardens must have moved on.
What do they do when there's not a blight, anyway? Follow Inquisitions about?
Some might.
They're searching for someone. Have you heard of the warden they're talking about?
Can't say that I have.
Whoever he is, he's drawn the wardens away from here.
Particularly if you look up on the story of Andruil, I don't believe there's any direct reference that will talk about Andruil's lore in this game, but Andruil was an elf that went mad in the Void. I know not what the Void is, just that this particular elf went mad fighting creatures in, and I think Andrew wore something quite similar to what Samson wears, taking armor from lyrium and making armor from lyrium and stuff like that. I'm not too familiar. I can't quite remember. But the void I am sure of. And when you go to the Fade, much later into the game, you see a strange area, which we'll not talk about, but it will show all characters' fears. How, Blackwall fears himself. That's something we'll come across later. However, Sarah has the fear, and it only suggests nothing. Like a literal fear of nothing. That doesn't mean that she doesn't fear nothing. She fears nothing. The nothingness, like a void, is supposedly a place of nothing. It's hell. That seems to be, for me, what it talks about with Sarah particularly. A fear of the void. The fear of just being nothing.
As good a place as any to camp.
And I think we're actually done. Apart from a whole bunch of Varric's quest, which we can't actually access. We can't access it now. So, yeah, I think that's going to be that for the Storm Coast. Didn't take us too long. I'm quite happy with that. And I'm also happy for the topics that I've managed to talk about in this game, particularly... no word for me. Yeah. I think I might also take the same troop, except to I think we might take the same group to the Fallow Mire. We just might swap out Blackwall for Iron Bull. But right now, let's head back to Haven. Okie dokie. So there's Iron Bull there, but first we're going to talk to Blackwall, considering we've picked up a couple of his points of interest. He does talk to you after each specific one. Just saying how much he appreciates it. Nothing too unique.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
It was on the way.
Don't mention it. You happen to be in the area.
And here I thought we were having a special bonding moment. But I've seen enough of this Inquisition to believe that we do good work.
I'm just hiding the bad. We will do better.
There will be opportunities for us to do even more in the future.
Then I look forward to it.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
There we go. Hey, Iron Bull.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
How did you know he's a Templar?
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Kanari learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
You could always give him a hand.
You sound like you want to head down there and give the troops some pointers.
Nah, I'm no good at command unless I know who my guys are sleeping with and what they like to drink. The Inquisition's already too large for that. The Chargers are big enough for me. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
Perhaps I should lead.
Then maybe we need one. I'd be willing.
You? Huh. Why you?
I was chosen by the Maker.
I'm the Herald of Andraste.
Well, that gets you the believers. Doesn't do much for the rest of us, then. My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions, and live with the consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen. It won't. But it could.
With passion and breath does the dark.
Let's see. Let's talk to Solus. And perhaps Varric. I'm going the wrong way to talk to Solus.
You get thirsty later.
Let's speak with Varric first.
Need something?
I have personal questions.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
How do you know Cassandra?
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Where are you from?
You from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marchers, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
And what do you do?
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
So you're a busy man. Could you do Liliana's job?
If you've run a spy network, why is Liliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
That's all.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Maker, though the darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light.
The Chantry isn't supporting us.
Whoop. Oh my god, that's unfortunate. What's going on? God, that was creepy.
Hello.
Whoa! Okay, game's glitching out. There we go. Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus. Why?
I must know I can trust you.
You're an elven mage. Not from the Circle, not Dalish. You're an unknown element. If I'm to trust a self-taught apostate with my life, I need to know more about him.
I don't see myself as self-taught. But then, since I have not told you, you'd have no way of knowing that. All right. What can I tell you?
Why study the Fade?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
That sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
And clearly you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, The Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interested.
Is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Weird, but good for you.
Well, it's not the worst reason I've heard to go out and enjoy life.
I'm glad to hear it. In truth, I have enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable sight then. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Do you work with anyone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Wisdom and purpose?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
Those are demon names.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
That's quite amazing.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
Very well. Spirit, yes. Spirits are people.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
Goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Okie dokie. So our next step will be to journey to the Fallow Mire. It's a lovely area. No, I'm telling the truth. There we go, guys. That's the end of the 5th chapter into the Dragon Age Inquisition story. As you get with numbers. So we just completed the Storm Coast, so now we have Iron Ball on the roster. When I head to the Fallow Mire, I will switch Blackwall for Iron Ball, but we will stick with Vivienne and Sarah because they're just adorable together. Okie dokie, guys. I will see you in the next one.